What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Good morning, everybody. YouTube Live. This is yours truly, Rama Screen, covering movies, TV, and entertainment. Um, wow, it's been a pretty busy past couple of days. Last night I watched The Irishman, Martin Scorsese's new movie, and it was like 3.5 hours long, dude. I was like, it started like 7:30 p.m. and we didn't get out till like 11. Ooh, and I didn't get home until like probably 1 a.m. But it was fun though. It was a premiere, so all the stars were there: Martin, Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, even some other filmmakers like John Landis was there. That was pretty cool. So that's why I kind of woke up late this morning and I watched today's Titans episode kind of late as well. I apologize about that because I'm still in the process of trying to wake up. Oh man! All right, so this review, as always, every Friday, is mainly for those of you, my fellow Titans fans, who have also watched today's episode. So heads up, spoiler alert, there will be spoilers in this video. Um, okay, let's get right to it. Today's episode is titled Jericho because it focuses on none other than Jericho, Slade Wilson's son. And Jericho is played by an actor named Chella Man. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. I apologize if I didn't. Um, so this is a flashback. So now we finally get to see what actually happened because we've heard these murmurs, right? These past 7 episodes about, oh my God, were the Titans responsible for the death of Slade Wilson's son? And I in on the back of my head, I'm thinking like, there's no way they intentionally killed Jericho. We knew that they were using him to get to Slade Wilson, but there's got to be some kind of an accident or some sort that caused the death of Jericho, that caused the anger of Slade Wilson on the Titans. And now we see, excuse me, and now we see what that is. And before we get to that part, though, I just want to comment real quick. Excuse me. Jericho's powers. All right, he's got superpowers here, and his powers are revealed in this episode. And I did not know much about Jericho in the comic books, so I had to read up a little bit once they introduced the character on this show this season. I was like, you know what? Let me find out more about Rose Wilson and Jericho, or Joe Wilson, I guess it's some of his alter ego. Um, and yeah, one of his abilities is that he can possess people, and we get to see that in this episode. And the way they do it is pretty neat. So the high stern wide, and then it's like he's transferring himself onto this, onto the other person that he's connecting. Like he did that to the guy in the record store, and today he also did that to Hank, which is awesome. By the way, kudos to the actor who plays Hank. Oh man, I keep forgetting his name, but that dance moves today, bravo, man, bravo. He probably did like maybe 5 different styles of, I don't know, twerking and club, shaking ass. It's nothing like, serious style dancing, nothing ballet. Well, he did a little bit of trying to do a little ballet twist, but I just, that was fantastic. That was impressive. And he did that under just probably a few seconds. Wow. Bravo, bravo. So anyway, back to Jericho's powers. That is some neat stuff, bro. I always say that if you ask me, Rama, what is the one superpower that you wish you had? I wish I could. You know what superpower that I want to have? Have you seen the movie Jumper? Jumper with Hayden Christensen and Samuel L. Jackson. That is the power I want to have. I'm a big fan of Superman. Don't get me wrong. I love Superman ever since I was a kid. He's my hero. Christopher Reeve is the Superman in my book. but I just feel like flying is a hassle. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't look like. I mean, I I I get the sense that if you fly up there, like Superman, it would not be, or it would not look as cool as the way it's portrayed on comic books or on pop culture. Um, because the wind will be like against, gushing against your face. You wouldn't look like you wouldn't look so cool and stoic doing it. You know what I'm saying? But jumper, oh man, that is a cool power to have. Unlike Nightcrawler, he transports himself only when he can envision the place that he's gonna jump to. And usually it's in close proximity or within the same premises. But Jumper, Hayden Christensen, man, he can go to London, and he doesn't have to fly. He doesn't have to go through the hassle of flying. Dude, I would want to have that power. That would be my dream ability. So, but you know what? Jericho's power, this one, it's probably, I want to say, come second place, close second place for me. I kind of envy that power. I was like, that's pretty cool because I can think of some of the bullies that bullied me back in high school. I would love to go track them down and kind of like possess them into making a fool of themselves, making a scene in public. That'd be pretty cool. Basically, what Jericho does, his ability is that he's a puppet master. He's a puppeteer. You know, he possessed somebody and kind of like pulling the strings. That's why Hank was dancing and Hank's blacked out the whole time. Uh, oh man, what is his name? I think it's Alan Richardson. Alan Richardson, I believe. So anyway, so that is a cool ass superpower, man. And the way that the show does it is so neat as well. It's like just transfers. That's pretty awesome. Um, the next thing I have on my note before we get to the massive fight between Dick Grayson and Slade Wilson that causes the death of Jericho. Um, the On a serious note here, the whole thing with Titans using Slade. Now we kind of know or kind of get the sense why Hank, Don, and Donna in the previous episodes they were a bit upset at Dick Grayson for forming Titans 2.0. It's like, why? Why did you open up this headquarters? Why did you recruit these kids? Because in their heads, to them, that's like maybe Dick Grayson having another round two of using kids. You know what I'm saying? Now, in Dick Grayson's head, I'm not vilifying him. Just like Don says in today's episode, you have this nag that you just want to save everybody. There's like savior complex. Like you gotta take in a stray cat all the time. So that's in his head. But the others might see it as like, hey, these are kids, man. You can't just like put them into this situation. You can't, even though they might think that, oh, it's cool to be superheroes, but they don't know what they're getting themselves into, the risk that they put themselves in. They could die just like Jericho did. So now this episode makes that clear why they don't agree with Dick Grayson, and why they said in previous episode, after we're done with this whole Deathstroke round 2 business, we're gonna go back. We're not sticking around. Because I don't like that you're using these kids, to form Titans 2.0. I'm paraphrasing, of course. So this episode does give some clarity to many of the things that came about in previous episodes. Now you're like, oh, that's why. Oh, now I understand. On a lighter note, what is up with Jericho's obsession with vinyls and record store? I don't get that. Now, don't get me wrong. Hey, son of Prometheus, what's up? What's up? Hello, welcome back. Um, I grew up, going to record stores. I grew up back when Tower Records was around. Do you remember Tower Records? It went bankrupt now um, because it couldn't compete with online shopping. But I don't. I never understand people's obsession with record stores. I saw the movie with Jack Black and John Cusack. I forgot what the name is. Fidelity something. And it was just like it confuses me. I'm obsessed with movies. I'm obsessed with TV, but I'm not obsessed with record stores. Some people I guess are. And for Jericho to know the ins and outs of like, oh, this album comes, it gets released this year, and oh my god, this album comes in this packaging and whatnot. I was like, all right, fine, whatever rocks your boat, man. um Another thing also that this episode gives us is that it gives us a better look at the Slade Wilson, unmasked, not as Deathstroke. So we get to see Adeline, his estranged wife, or maybe ex-wife, um, and then we get to see some of the instances in which they in which Slade Wilson inadvertently bring danger to his house. So at one point, Jericho, in the process, gets his kind of neck slit off. That was like so scary. And so I understand why the mom, Adeline, is not really keen on Slade Wilson. Um, but I also understand why she lied to Jericho, because here's the thing: parents are complex, man, and they're very protective, right? I'm not a parent, but I have parents, and sometimes they give me white lies because they know that some truth I just can't handle. When I was a kid, of course. Now I'm grown up, I can handle them. Um, but she wants to shield Jericho from that because she wants Jericho to continue worshiping his father, and there's nothing wrong with that. I know maybe some of us might see, like, maybe some of us might side with Titans, like, hey, your dad's a killer, your dad's a murderer, you should know that, but at the same time, on the other hand, I kind of understand where Adeline is coming from. um so it's a very complex situation, and I like how this episode presents that dynamic. Overall, I enjoyed this episode. I kind of, I'm still a bit, not upset. The word I'm looking for is a little bit like bummed out that Titans 2.0 keep getting sidelined. They keep getting benched over and over again. But I'm glad that they have this flashback episode to, again, as I said earlier, to give clarity to some of the stuffs that get brought up in previous episodes. Um, oh, Son of Prometheus says they love talking music. Exactly, exactly. That's their world. Nothing wrong with that. I just don't get it. But I like listening to music. I'm just not obsessed with record stores and vinyl records and like, oh my god, look, check this out, check out the packaging, check out the cover art on this album. Some people are really really into that, like we are into TV and movies. um so the fight scenes, there were a few fight scenes here. One that I love was between Slade Wilson and Donna Troy. I mean, for all the flaws that Titans show has, and this show does have flaws. We discussed it in the previous episode review last week, right? About how, some of the characters are just hanging about eating cereal. Uh, like the writers don't know what to do with some of these people. Um, but for all the flaws that Titans has, man, they have great fight choreographies. All right. And the way these fights are shot, I love the way it's staged. Um, it's not like a lot of cuts and stitches, and they just pretty much show it to us, and I like that. And one example in today's episode with Donna Troy and Slade Wilson, that is a fantastic fight. Unfortunately, Donna Troy gets defeated, but the way the whole thing plays out, I liked it. I enjoyed it very much. um Son of Prometheus says all over the place. Yes, all over the place, that's right. That's one of the show's flaws. Um, and the other fight is the last one. So let's get to that now. Slade Wilson versus Dick Grayson. Woo! In the church. By the way, how stereotypical Hollywood is that, man? I mean, I've watched movies, thousands of movies ever since I was a kid, and thousands of TV shows. Including do you remember the movie Face Off with John Travolta and Nicolas Cage? The Face Off in the abandoned church, and then of course John Woo would have his doves flying about. The idea of having a, a duel inside a church that already collects dust. It's so it's so classic, right? It's something that Hollywood goes back to again and again. I love that setting. It's stereotypical, but I love it. So that fight scene is between Dick Grayson and Slade Wilson is also, in my opinion, well choreographed. And yeah, Slade Wilson's right when he says you're too emotional. He says that to Dick Grayson during the fight. Yeah, Son of Prometheus says yes, it was amazing. I agree, and it's like, yeah, I'm not a fighter, but I have friends who are fighters, and I did take some taekwondo, yeah, when I was a kid. When you're emotional during a fight with somebody, right? You already lose. You already lost. You're gonna be the one that's gonna lose in that fight because your headspace is already occupied by this, you know, eagerness, by this whatever it is, resentment, whatever emotions. So you're not thinking clearly about strategy during the fight. You're not anticipating your opponent's move clearly. You're not seeing like, oh man, I see that he does this quite a lot. So maybe if I move this way, then that's something that he won't see coming because your headspace is already clouded by stuff, by junk. So in this case, Dick Grayson's just like, you killed my friend, I'm gonna get at you, man. It's like, you're being too emotional. Slade Wilson says, yeah. Although I'm surprised that, I guess it's a testament to Slade Wilson because he can also be emotional in that fight. You know, his son was being used by Titans. So Slade Wilson has all the reason to be angry as well, to be all emotional. I was like, what the bitch? You're using my son? But it's a testament to Slade that whenever he fights, he doesn't get that, thing clouding his headspace. Yes, Son of Prometheus says Dick would have done way better if he wasn't angry. Exactly. And another thing also, like, after 8 episodes, I don't know about you guys, but and this is gonna be my last point. I'm a little what's the word I'm looking for? Exhausted at the fact that Dick Grayson always goes at it on his own. The last time I checked, the title of the show is Titans, not Titan. One Titan, no. It's plural, Titans. What is up with Dick Grayson always takes things on his own, like being a martyr and like, oh, I'll clean this up, dude, come on, man. And freaking freaking Hank Hall, he only got to be Hawk for that one split second. Remember that in this episode when Donna Troy is on the ground, she's injured. Dawn comes, and then Robin's like, hey, look after her. I'm gonna go after Deathstroke. And then Hawk is only like, so like they only put on their costumes just for that split second. Come on, Dick. Come on, Dick. Stop going solo, man. You're being a dick, no pun intended, for doing that again and again and again. Who are you trying to prove here? And lastly, I just want to comment as well. Son of Prometheus says that's Batman disease. Exactly right. That's Batman disease. It took Batman a while too to finally, be able to um entertain the idea of, you know what, I'm gonna have myself a sidekick in Robin. Um, Lastly, just before I go, dude, Deathstroke, jeez, holy crap! I know that Deathstroke is one of the most iconic assassins in the comic books, right? We you and I can agree on that. We all agree on that. We know that he's badass. Even the Deathstroke in the Arrow series, played by what's his name, Manu Bennett. His portrayal of that depiction of Deathstroke is also badass. But the Deathstroke in here is, man. Did you see him in today's episode, dude? Like, he's got knives from around all his armors. He's got like tricks up his sleeves. His his baton turns into guns and that shoots out bullets. And just like, dude, dude, he's like a walking weapon, man. Just so there's it's hard for just one man like Dick Grayson to get an upper hand on Slade Wilson in a fight like that. So it takes a team to take down Deathstroke, because, man, Deathstroke's got like all kinds of, I don't want to say gadgets because he's not like freaking James Bond, but just from weapons from places that you don't even know he has. Like, oh wow, what? He's got another sword there. He's got another gun there. Jeez. On top of the fact that he's invincible, of course, because he's so freaking strong. Um, so wow, I just want to comment on Deathstroke is one of those villains that is so hardcore, you can't help but admire him. You know what I'm saying? A lot of villains out there, you kind of just like, you love to hate. You just want, like, oh yeah, um, they're bad guys. I can't wait to see them taken down or whatnot. But Deathstroke, there's a part of you that kind of like, wow, he's kind of awesome. he's kind of badass. Wow. I kind of want Deathstroke to win in this fight between him and Dick Grayson, and he kind of did. Unfortunately, it's at the cost of Jericho. So now we're gonna get to see next week. Hopefully, Son of Prometheus says this Deathstroke is terrifying in a way I peed myself twice as like hell. Right? I'm with you there, Son of Prometheus. This Deathstroke is, I mean, if you think that the Deathstroke in freaking Arrow was cool, it ain't nothing compared to this Deathstroke. So we'll see next week. Hopefully, the story will come back to Titans 2.0, because, as you recall, the cliffhanger was that Rose Wilson found out, holy crap, you have my brother's vinyl is here. What the hell's going on? So now she has it in her head that maybe Titans were responsible for her brother's deaths. So she might be pissed and might exact revenge on them too. So, or turn on them, I should say. So we'll see how that plays out. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it be back about Raven and Superboy again, and Rose again, and Gar again, because I miss those guys, man. I miss those guys. They need to get more stuff happening about them this season too. It can't be just about Titans 1.0 all the freaking time. So, but yeah, love it, love it. This is a fantastic episode. I got no complaints about this. Very little complaint. So, thank you so much, Son of Prometheus, for chatting with me. And for those of you who didn't get to chat with me, share your thoughts about today's episode in the comment section below. What did you think? What did you think of it? Do you agree or disagree with my assessment? Let me know your thoughts down below. Subscribe to my channel, press that like button, and ring that bell. And if you can help support me, please support me at patreon.com/ramascreen. Son of Prometheus has more ensemble. Exactly. I agree. All right. I gotta head out now. Let's rock this.